Hi everybody, this is Jamie with Everything Airplanes. Welcome to my channel, and I hope everybody's having a good summer. On this episode, we'll be finalizing the Fantasy of Flight review from the past couple of videos that I've produced. And I'll be talking about the P51 Mustang, the German Bagam natter Viper, and the Russian Polikarpov that was built in the mid to late 1930s and used up and through the end of World War II. At the end of the video, I'll come back and I'll let you know what Everything Airplanes is up to as far as air shows and air events that I'll be covering and doing videos on later on this summer and early into the fall. So hope you enjoy the video. I just want a shout out to my patrons. I really do appreciate your support. Saving some money right now to get some upgraded equipment for processing the videos, make it a lot quicker for getting these out. And I just thank you for keeping with me and hanging out with me until I can get this thing up and running full time. So again, appreciate your support. Enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you when I get done. Thanks. This is the 1945 North American P51 Mustang. The first Mustangs were designed for the British before the U.S. entered World War II and were powered with American Allison engines. Called the Apache by the Americans, it was the British who named the aircraft Mustang. Because they were the first to use it in combat, the name stuck. While it was a great aircraft at low altitudes, the Allison could not compete with the British Rolls-Royce Merlin-powered Spitfires at altitude because of the Merlin's more advanced supercharger technology. Merlin-powered Mustangs were tried, and a great fighter was born. Early Merlin-powered Mustangs had the high-back fuselage and 4 50 caliber machine guns. This D model Mustang came out late in the war with the bubble canopy for improved visibility and 6 50 caliber machine guns. The Mustang's ability to carry large external fuel tanks and the Merlin's good fuel economy gave the air war in Europe a different look. With over 450 gallons of fuel, the Mustangs now had a range of over 2,000 miles and the capability to escort the long-range bombers on their entire missions. The aircraft shown here is painted in the colors of the highest-scoring Mustang ace, Major George Preddy, who became famous after one mission where he claimed 6 kills. Preddy unfortunately lost his life on Christmas Day of 1944, flying a mission during the Battle of the Bulge while chasing a German Focke-Wulf 190 at tree level. Reports of 2 enemy aircraft were forwarded to American troops in the vicinity, and Preddy was shot down by friendly fire. Most airshow fans will recognize the classic sound of the P51 Mustang shown here. This is a replica of the 1944 Bagam natter Viper. During the closing stages of World War II, this was one of the X-type projects attempted by Germany. Constructed of wood in 250 man-hours with unskilled labor, the BA-349 Natter was designed to be launched vertically when enemy bomber formations were sighted in the area. Initial gliding tests were performed in 1944 by dropping the test aircraft from a Heinkel HE-111 bomber at 18,000 feet. The test pilot attained a speed of 425 miles per hour, and controllability was excellent down to speeds of 125 miles per hour. Roll and pitch control was designed to be accomplished by the use of the elevons at the rear of the aircraft. Because there was no landing gear, the pilot bailed out when the tests were complete. In a combat operation, the liquid-fueled Walter rocket engine would be started first. After technicians confirmed that all was ready, the engine was powered up and the aircraft was launched with the lighting of the 4 external booster rockets. With only 4 minutes of fuel, the initial rate of climb was over 37,000 feet per minute. The pilot, experiencing tremendous acceleration, hung on while the Natter was ground guided until the external boosters burned out. At that point, the pilot would then take over. His job was to line up as many bombers as possible and launched the 24 rockets housed in the nose of the aircraft. After a short flight of less than 10 minutes, the natter would run out of fuel. The pilot would unbuckle his seatbelt, pull a handle that would detach the nose of the aircraft, and deploy a parachute attached to the rear of the aircraft in an attempt to save the valuable engine for reuse. After the rear parachute opened, the pilot would be thrown out of the front of the aircraft, left to save himself using his own parachute. The aircraft shown here is the 1933 Soviet-built Polikarpov I-16 Type 24. The Soviet single-engine, single-seat fighter aircraft is of revolutionary design. It was the world's first low-wing cantilever monoplane fighter with retractable landing gear to attain operational status, and as such, introduced a new vogue in fighter design. The I-16 was introduced in the mid-1930s and formed the backbone of the Soviet Air Force at the beginning of World War II. The diminutive fighter named Ishak, or Ishakshak, translated donkey or burro in Russian, by the Soviet pilots, figured prominently in the Second Sino-Japanese War, the Battle of Khalkhin Gol, Winter War, and the Spanish Civil War, where it was called the Rata, or Rat, by the Nationalists and by the Republicans. The Type 24 replaced the Skid with a tailwheel and featured a much more powerful 1,100 horsepower Shvetsov M63 engine. It could be fitted to carry RS-82 unguided rockets. The first successful use of the air-to-air missiles in air combat was on August 20th, 1939. The Japanese Air Force Nakajima Ki-27 fighter was hit by an RS-82 unguided rocket launched from a distance of about a kilometer. The shot was fired by USSR Air Force Captain N. Vonarev. The armament on this aircraft consisted of two 7.62 Shkaz machine guns in the nose and an additional two 7.62 Shkaz machine guns in the wings. Hey everybody, and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. I look at the aircraft that were on display there, and it always amazes me what kind of craziness these guys come up with trying to make implements of war. That natter is just craziness. That's just insane. And at the time, you got to realize that they were running out of resources and they were running out of skilled pilots. So they were sending kids up in these things to go and attack the Allied bombers coming across. So just craziness. But again, I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to shout out to my patrons. I really appreciate your support. I appreciate you being patient with me trying to get this thing up and running full time. As I mentioned before, I'm saving some money trying to get some updated equipment to be able to process my videos faster, and that'll get you guys more content as we go forward. Everything Airplanes will be attending Oshkosh towards the end of the month. I know I'll be up there Sunday for the arrivals, hopefully Monday, and we'll be up there Friday for sure for one of the Warbirds in Review. The Fagan Fighters Museum up in Granite Falls, Minnesota, is going to have their newly restored F6F Grumman Hellcat up there on display, and hopefully I'll get a chance to visit with and interview Evan Fagan from the museum while the airplane's on display up there. In August, I'll be covering the Midwest Giant Scale RC Show in Fond du Lac, and that's in mid-August, and I'll be reporting on that, bringing a piece to the Patreon site. I'll also be going to the Waukegan, Illinois Air Show in September, and I hope to go and cover the Grassroots Fly-In in Broadhead, Wisconsin. If you like classic airplanes, this is the place to be. I'm really kind of set up, for the first time, really set up to cover it well, and hope to get a lot of individual aircraft aircraft recordings going around the airplanes with my gimbal and my camera, and doing a piece on each one of those airplanes, as well as trying to get some more owner interviews while I'm at that event. Hopefully in October I'll be headed to Chino for the Chino Air Show and be covering some of the air museums out there. I know the March Air Museum is in Riverside, and I hope to get to the Yanks Air Museum and I can't remember the other one next to Chino, but hopefully I get to those museums and then I'll bring it back and do this type of editing and reporting on the air museums as I have done in the past. Look forward to, if you get on to Instagram, it's the @ everything airplanes _ and I'll be doing some live feeds from the air events that I'm going to, and hope to get back over to Kalamazoo, Michigan, the Air Museum over there, for their unveiling of their F-117 display sometime in October or November. I'll have to get a hold of them and find out when that's going to be, but I'll do a piece on that just to bring that coverage to you, for you guys again. So again, I thank you for your support, and I'll be in touch soon. This is Jamie signing off. Thanks again. Bye.